last topic. Just want to give you my thoughts on this episode, which I might dedicate a whole episode to, because this is something that all fighters need to hear, man. Like, Zhang Weili recently did this interview, and she kind of went in about the crowd, dealing with a hostile crowd in Florida. And she had to say that's what contributed to her loss to Rose. And I talked about this already, but I want to just read through some things with y'all right here. And pull this article up. Okay, so right now, Zhang Weili, she's stating that the boos and having the crowd against her is what really kind of contributed to her loss, because she started to lose focus. Which I can't agree with. That is a part of the fight game, but that says more than that says more than you probably want to let everybody know about you, which I'll talk about here in a minute. So Zhang says last fight with Joanna, even though she trained in America, she is an American, so we were quite equal and none of us got any boos. But this time, because Rose is from America and Florida is a bit like that, so when I showed up in the event, wow, the boos were really loud. It was my first time experiencing the situation, and I didn't expect it to be so serious. Even if she had 70% of the audience on her side and just a small amount on my side, it wouldn't have been that loud. When my music started playing, even before I showed up, it was already loud, and so I couldn't even hear what the referee or coach said. Okay, so yeah, that was the first part I wanted to read. Yeah, so right there, she's letting you know that a hostile crowd can kind of throw her off her game. Like other people were telling me that they saw the fight. When other people saw it, they were like, I think the crowd was bothering. I was like, nah, I don't think the crowd was bothering. I think maybe she was just out of her element for a bit, and maybe she was just focused. Maybe she was in another zone when she got there, but I didn't think it was the crowd. But some other people told me. I didn't want to admit that this time, but some people was like, I think the crowd's getting to her. And then when she lost, it was like, I told you it was the crowd. I was like, well, we'll see. But now Zhang Weili comes right out, says it was the crowd. She says it was the crowd that was bothering her. And right there, that kind of tells you that Zhang Weili right now has she's in another place where I don't think I've ever really heard too many fighters say anything like this before. It really showed this type of weakness. It's almost dangerous that she's kind of saying this, that a hostile crowd threw her off. It's not the hostile crowd that you're going to fight. They may be saying certain things, and yeah, words can hurt. Apparently words do hurt more than the fists, because they threw her off her game big time, and the boos, they made her lose her focus like this in the first round. I'm like, wow, that says a lot. And like she said, the first time around when she fought Joanna, it was on even playing field, so her mindset was okay. It was focused. But you got to understand, man, like sometimes somebody is going to be the favorite, and you have to have an open mind to that. Like, this is competition. People are coming, it's a competition, it's a contest. People are going to, the fighter you come in to face, they're going to be bringing their fans. Sometimes they'll be bigger. You said it yourself, Joanna, foreigner as well. So the Americans weren't too wild with that. You should have known that Rose was going to be the favorite, and they were coming to cheer her on. Especially in Florida, especially after what Rose said too. The whole crazy, thing with controversial statements that Rose said as well. People were coming just to boo Zhang Weili. So she should have been prepared for that. She should have knew already that she wasn't going to be the favorite in this fight, and translated that energy into something bigger. Like I said, I'm kind of freestyling off the dome with this one, because I wanted to just kind of give you my thoughts. But we're going to have to talk about this again, just for fighters in general, man. Like, this is a big element to being a fighter. I talked about this, like, fighting is fighting many things. Being a fighter is fighting many things. It's fighting the odds that's against you. It's fighting the adversity. It's fighting the judges. It's fighting, like I said, even your promoters. It's fighting a little bit of everything, It's fighting temptation to sometimes whenever something might tempt you to throw you off of your diet. It's everything, it's fighting the people that are against you. Like I said, it's just fighting people that are against you that you never even knew were against you. There's going to be different things that throw you off. Like, apparently she didn't know the crowds boo like this, Boom, you see what kind of mind frame it put her in. Probably turned like her spirit in her, made her spirit do a 180 and try to lead the building. You know what I mean? So this is something that Weili is going to have to really, really prepare for now. Like, I almost thought it was going to be something as simple as defense. It was something physical she had to work on. Like, oh, she missed a feint. She mistaken a feint for a low kick, and boom, she got kicked in the head. Let's go back and work on defense. But no, after she says it was the booze that made her lose focus, it's time to do some mental exercises. It's time to do some mental exercises to make you mentally tough. Like, I thought she was relentless and tough, which she might still be. Like, she's that type of fighter that can put herself through hell in training, but what about the type of hell you can't control? Like, you can control the temperature in the gym, you know what I mean? You can control the intensity that's coming at you. You can control whenever somebody says 100 reps is coming, because you know that's coming. So I can give it my all because I know that's what's coming. But when you go out of your element and that you can't control the temperature, people are breathing fire down your head, and you're not used to that type of level. You're not used to them degrees of heat. What are you going to do? You're going to sit there and take it. You're going to burn, or you're going to fire back. You're going to fight fire with fire. Are you going to do that? Apparently Zhang Weili couldn't. She lost that focus and she got burnt. You know? And that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't know where the fire is going to come from or how hot it's going to be. Like I said, when you're in your own kitchen, you can control that heat. But when you step out of that zone, which you should be prepared for, you know, because this ain't anything new. Let's put it, this ain't anything new. Like, I don't understand how some of these fighters from other countries, they're not familiar with how America can be when it comes down to theirs. You know what I mean? Like, Haitian fighters, Jamaican fighters, fighters from Australia, fighters from the UK. You can't be blind to that. Like, China, you can't be protected from that. You've seen the UFC, you've seen boxing before, so you've seen these fighters before, so you should know that when fighters come to the US from foreign countries, they get booed. Hell, black fighters get booed here. Black American fighters get booed in the United States. So how can you not be familiar with that? Like, are y'all just channeling that stuff out? Like, maybe that's why. Now look, now you're getting something that hey, we've been toughened to. You let the audience boo you? Shoot, that ain't nothing new. Because a lot of these black fighters here, you know, Floyd Mayweather, Kamaru Usman, John Jones, you know what I mean? Especially Kamaru Usman the same night. He got booed. He got booed like crazy. But what did he do? He danced his way to the octagon. He thought of the boos and said, yeah, wait till I get in there. Chad Ochocinco, he put money on Jorge Masvidal. He said that right to my face. Okay. All that energy he feeling. They booing me. They calling me names. They calling me B. Jorge Masvidal talking his junk. Wait till I get in there. What did he do? Jab, right cross, boxed him. Outboxed him first round, knocked him out in the second. That's how you do it. You play that audience. You play the audience. Don't let the audience play you. That's exactly how you do it. See, Kamaru Usman, tough skin. He's not from America, but he got the tough skin and knows that, look, the odds are against me when I come here. You know, Floyd Mayweather, he's from here. Black American. He knows the odds are against him. Tough skin. Y'all seen this. That's what I'm saying. Even these Asian fighters, they seen that. They know how it is when they come here. They know they're not going to be the favorite. They should know that this is how America do. Maybe she was sheltered and protected from that. I don't know, but these other countries and these other minorities, they need to wake up. They got to wake up. This is a part of the game. This is a part of the fight game. Goes all the way back to Jack Johnson, Joe Louis, Ezra Charles, Archie Moore, to your fighters to today, Errol Spence Jr. You know, all these fighters today, they deal with it. Like I said, Jack Johnson, that's the worst. People putting hits on your head. You beat their white fighter, shoot, you might not make it home. You might get your throat cut. You know? So, Zhang Weili, you lose focus over some boos. Oh man, that's a lot of work to do. You got to go back, because this is how it's going to be. This is the fight game. This is what's going to happen on that level. You know, first time around against Joanna, it was neutral, but now that it goes up, now that the temperature goes up and you feel like this, no. Especially now too, like, she wants the rematch, but she feels like the rematch needs to be on neutral ground. that ain't your call. And you said it. She said it. She was like, I would like for it to be in Abu Dhabi this time around, be on neutral ground, but I don't think it could happen because it's up to Dana White and Rose as the champion. So it's more than likely not, which is true, which means you got to go back to the drawing board and work on that mental pressure, that mental game to deal with mental pressure, because this fight probably could be in Las Vegas and Florida again, so it's up to you to deal with that pressure. Do mental exercise. Like I said, do things like I talked about in my live stream. Read, sit down, read books. Read books that's gonna build your mind. Just listen to tapes, motivational tapes, whatever you got to do to help build your self-confidence. Not just your physical confidence, but your self-confidence in your mind that can tell you can take on anything. That you can beat any demon, that you can beat any of these demons that are trying to break you, because if you have the muscle, that's one thing. But if you ain't got the muscle is just one thing. But if you don't have the mind to deal with these demons that are out there to get you, that come in the form of like negative energy from the negative comments from the crowds and like your opponent, then you'll crumble. You will crumble. So I don't mean to get too deep on it, but yeah, Rose, she did bring that type of energy into this fight, and it was up to Zhang Weili to say it's time to channel this. Same way Kamaru Usman did, same way Errol Spence did when he went to the UK to battle Kell Brook. They booed the hell out of me. They threw stuff at me. They threw chocolate brownies at me, which they did. They threw chocolate brownies at him. But you know what he did? He went in there and he whooped up on Kell Brook. He whooped ass that night. Kamaru Usman, he whooped ass that night. Floyd Mayweather, he gets booed. Conor McGregor, people going for Conor, right? He whooped ass that night. So Zhang Weili, you gotta build yourself up. Not these muscles anymore. It's the mind. You gotta build the mind up. And understand this is a part of history. This is a part of America. Like, y'all can't play dumb to this. See us over here, we got the hard skin for that. We play the audience. The audience is our puppet. Floyd Mayweather. What does he do? He hears boos. He hears jeers. You know what he hears? He hears dollar. He hears dollar signs. He hears that cash register. He hears that cash register sign. That chain sign. That's what he hears. He don't care, because you know why? Because those haters and those people that are booing him, they are still giving him money. They're still paying to see him. People that pay to see him lose, they're still paying him. And that's what you have to do when you get to that higher level. You got to understand now it's a business, it's entertainment, and you got to make it work to your advantage. Valentina, another good example. You got to work it to your advantage. Valentina is not really a favorite. Like I said, a lot of people feel like UFC don't give her enough respect. That's why she cold with it. She's cold with it. She comes to whoop ass, get the money, and that's it. And better herself. That's why she's another good example of self-confidence. She models. She hits the shooting range. She traveling. She does things to build her mind up. Learns other languages. You know what I mean? So her self-confidence up is to say, look, I'm better than anybody out there that's saying that I'm nothing, that I'm trash. I'm better than anybody out there right now that's booing me, that's going against me. That's how strong her self-confidence is. Her mind is as strong as her physical strength that we see in the octagon. You see that at the stare downs. You see that during the fight. You see it before the fight, after the fight. You can actually see her mind through her body, through her actions. And that's what you want to see. Like, sometimes we get so deceived by certain fighters that are big and muscular. We think that they are these big, strong people all the way around, but let one little thing go wrong and watch that mind crumble. Not Valentina, not Floyd Mayweather, not Muhammad Ali, not these fighters. They fought under 400 degrees, and you can see, like I said, through their actions, you see the mind. Through the strong actions, there's a strong mind. Let's put it that way. So yeah, man, Zhang Weili, I will say this, there's a lot of work to be done mentally. I think that, like I said, it's just a thing where she has to say, look, I gotta turn this into my show. People boo me, oh well. They're paying to see me. The people that came to boo me are paying my bills. They're paying for my They're paying for my retirement. You know, they're paying for my food, the clothes on my back, right? So you play them that way. You got to remember that. Self-confidence, build it up. Like I said, I'm not here to bash Zhang Weili on her saying the audience was the reason she lost focus, because it probably was. It's not an excuse at this point. She's actually telling you the problem, and it's a problem mentally. It's a problem mentally. I know y'all probably think I'm getting too deep on it, but it is, man. This is a part of the fight game. The mental is like 95 to 97% of the fight game. You know, that's what this game is. So I just think that Zhang Weili has a lot to do mentally more so than physically. You know, because if her mental was strong, second time around, Zhang Weili would probably win. But if it's the crowd that's bothering her and they have to fight in Florida again, the same thing is going to happen. Maybe not in the first round, but the same thing is going to happen if the crowd bothers her that much. If she brings up the crowd as a focus, yeah, man, like that's going to be the issue. But that's really what it made it seem to be. I mean, if that's what's brought up, I mean, that's why I have to talk about it like this, man, because you can't let that destroy you. That's just, the crowd is just a minor part of the game, you know. What are you going to do when your knee goes? You know, what are you going to do when your wrist goes in a fight? You know, what are you going to do when your best trainer leaves you? I don't know, you know. So words to Zhang Weili, you know, just stay strong and work on your mental game and just understand this is a part of the game. You know, nobody's going to be protected. You know, take it from us over here. You know, take it from the Black American fighters here that get booed in their own backyard. You know, y'all act so new to it. Y'all like, oh man, I'm precious. I said, why are they booing me? Why are they booing me? You ain't from here. Let you not be from here. That's what happens. That's what happens. But yeah, man, like I said, we'll talk more. That's all I could get out for right now. But my final thoughts on everything I talked about. Canelo, good fighter. I just need to see him step it up with some more good fights out there. You know, there's Beterbiev, Bivol, Charlo, Andrade. Demetrius Andrade, I said. Billy Joe Saunders. I want to see Billy Joe Saunders healed up. Like I said, I'm not a fan, but I don't want to see him damaged. I just feel like, you know, you get what you put into the universe. That's why I kind of came back on him. Michelle Waterson. Shout out to Michelle Waterson putting on a good fight. Marina Rodriguez, Joanna, call her out. Please make that fight in September. PFL tournament, definitely tuning in. Like I said, I'm going to come back and do more videos on that, you know, when the next bracket comes back around. And again, Zhang Weili, get it together, man. Get it together, woman. You mentally, you got to get it together, because this is just the beginning. If you let this major fight break you like this, or make you lose focus, man, you probably got to rethink it. But you know, you just come on back stronger mentally. You know, work on the self-confidence. Forget the crowd. You know, the crowd is just, they're just there. Remember, they're people that can't do what you do, so they troll you. You know, it's not going to change overnight, so you better be prepared for that. That's all I got to say.